Welcome back, Shop Rats. Today we're getting started on this 86 Dodge pickup that we're going to do a quick slam bam paint job on. So there's a lot you can learn here if you don't know anything about doing body work, and if you do, don't watch this because you'll absolutely think I'm stupid, but that's okay. It's what we do. Let's watch the show intro. I'll see you in about 30 seconds. I'm Mike, and this is My Car Shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Car's Shop.
We're certainly not intending to do a show quality paint job on this truck. It's just a work truck, so it's just going to be a slam bam, scuff it down. I got to flatten it out a little bit because there are some imperfections here, and we'll go over some of that in just a few minutes. And then we'll get started on the process of sanding out these doors and getting them ready to put in primer. Now I'm talking to my buddy and finding out if he wants to pull off the door handles and pull out all the glass, or if we're just going to mask around that. My guess is he's just going to say mask it and shoot it. But I need to know what he wants and how much time he wants me to spend on this. So there we go. I'll know that in a while here, I'm sure. But most people are having Mother's Day gatherings today because it's Mother's Day. But Becky's gone away today, and I'm here in the shop because that's what I do. So we'll probably start picking on this door first. We've got a dent in here. I can see the previous owner definitely put some Acumpucky in there. Got a little dent right there. That'll probably block out. Most of this feels like it's from the inside, which is weird, but low spot right there. Another funky spot there. Feels like we got a low spot in here also, which is no surprise because of the mirror. I don't know how much of this I'm going to pull. I might just put a little of tiger hair on there. Just, we'll see. Again, it's a work truck. We're not building a show car here. So that feels pretty good other than that. And I'll show you, I can feel all of this, but there's ways you can visualize it as well. So we'll get you right down there where you can put your eyes on it and see what I'm feeling. If only we could do that with emotions. It would help me a lot with my wife. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got somebody dripped oil on it right there. That's nice. That'll make sure that none of the paint sticks. Not paint sticks, paint sticks. Got a dent down there, nothing major. That'll block out. A couple coats of that polyester primer and blocking will really forgive a lot of these sins. Feels like we got another high spot right there. I'm not understanding the high spots because that means it was hit from the other side. It's definitely high there. It's not maybe. No, it's high. I don't know. It's weird. We may have to And, yep, one right there. Dang. I may have to pull those door handles off, no matter what he says. Now I got another real bad low spot right there. Now we're going to paint this white, and we're not doing it a base coat, clear coat. We're just going to do it in a single stage, so it'll have all the orange peels, and the white will help hide a lot of things. So again, we're not trying to do like a 47 Ford job or a 69 Charger job. We're just gonna make a respectable work truck out of this. So maybe we can get him to put a big MKS logo on the door, and that'll just hide all the sins. So I think we're just gonna go after this with some, I don't think I have any 36. I think this is maybe like an 80 grit. I don't know where my 36 has gone, but we're gonna go after this with some big gravel and see what we can do to straighten stuff out a little bit, see where we're at. We'll go ahead and use the pneumatic Thunder here. Yeah, gotta love these things, huh? Really need to get a new pad on this. It's getting pretty bad, but for what we're doing here, this will be fine. I wouldn't be using this if it had a show job. I would definitely be going out and getting a new pad for the bottom of my airboard. All right, since I'm here, I was going to do that one first, but we'll do this one first. All right, that made short work of it. We got a couple little bullseye dents here. We'll go ahead and put some fill in that. Not going to take much. Got this corner fairly well straightened out. A little bit high there maybe, but we'll just probably put like a skim coat across there, and we'll see. Little teeny dent there, that'll come out in the primer. So overall, that's pretty good actually. Not disappointed with the bottom of that door, how it flattened out. That's where we use the big rock. Just get her done. No point messing around. Whoever was doing the body work before, I think, was either being too cautious, you know, or they just they thought they were ready for paint and they were starting to do some finish work. But we got a big dent right there. And I was going to show you how I can tell the dents. Let me do that real quick. Got to get a rag and wipe things down here, and I'll show you, if you can't feel it, how you can see it. One of the things I like to do is just use paint prep sol, and just get down here and you can kind of see the images change. Now you can see that I got marks in there where it's from the rag itself, but there's a big dent right there. If you can see that or not. Let's see if we can get you the, oh, there we go. Fluorescent lights are the great thing to use, the reflection on those. There you go, right there. See how that fluorescent light tube changes right there? Right there. This isn't the best prep sol in the world for this. There's better product, but I just grabbed what I had handy. But those light tubes should stay nice and straight, and they don't. So you can see we got a dent there. Got another one over here. You can see that one, yeah, in the reflection out there from outside. This one you can't see that way. There's a high spot right there. So it's what I do. I don't use water because it's too thick and it will actually fill in those dents and you won't see them. But yeah, this one here is quite a bad dent, and then right in here there's a funky spot. So I'm gonna do the same thing there. I'm gonna go ahead and just dry that down, and then lock that down with that airboard, and see what we actually have and how bad it actually is once we get it like sanded down and get a lot of the material off of there. Was rolled down into the door and I couldn't feel from the backside, but I just checked now that I got the window rolled up out of the way, and I'm going to be able to get a dolly in here and just like, hello dolly, and tap that up a little bit before we put any mud. A lot of what was on here, I'll get you over here in a second, was just improperly done Bondo as far as not being sanded properly. So most of this is flat now. The worst parts of the door are just right here and here. The rest of it actually feels pretty good. There's a little bit right there. There's a little high spot right there. We'll maybe we can get at the back of that. Yep, we can. We can tink that down a little bit. And I think most of this, the rest of this, once we get these three spots here dealt with, as far as these two chunks, polyester primer is probably going to fix that. I may put a little there. We'll see. But yeah, straightened out good. This is what I was hoping was going to happen. My favorite hammer, the handle broke and I haven't fixed it. This is my second favorite one. It's funny, I've got, I don't know, 6 or 8 of these different body hammers, but I only use 1 or 2. Hopefully this one's deep enough to reach up in there. Oh yeah, we'll be good. Okay, figure out the best place to get at this and try to get a flat pound. Well, getting a very good hit at it. There we go. Oh, let's do a little hammer off dolly. The dolly underneath. just like that. So the idea here is, a little spot right there. The idea here is to push up with the dolly and then hit around the dolly so that you're pounding the metal down and pushing the metal up at the same time to flatten that out. I got one little hammer spot right there. Excuse me. There we go, got rid of that. All right, let's sand that down. And well, let's hit this one while I'm at it. I think we'll do the same thing here. If we can do a hammer off dolly. It's probably the only way to get at that one. There we go, that one's gone. So you see it's the pushing up and the pounding around that stretches the metal back up. At least that's the way I do it. I don't know if it's right. You can see that our bullseye's gotten a lot smaller here now, so I probably can't do much more with that. But this grinder here, get some heat in there, may pop that out a little bit more. This one here is virtually gone, just a small. So I'm gonna grind both of these down to bare metal and then get a little mud in there. I don't think we need to put fiberglass in there. I think it's pretty strong. If it was oil canning, I'd put some tiger hair in there to give it some strength, but I think just regular Bondo is gonna be fine. So we'll hit those a little bit. I got one right there to hit also, and get that straightened out a little bit. All right, we got our two spots ground down, and grinding did what I hoped it would do. The heat of that actually popped that up just a bit more. So we'll put a little skim coat of Bondo right there, and a little teeny touch right there, and then that'll be ready to sand out. And hopefully one coat should do it, and then the rest of that will fill with the primer. So the rest of this door now, from here down, is actually doing well. There's those little dents down there, like I said. We'll take care of those. I think there's just those three. Boom, boom, boom. Feel any other ones there. I think I got the rest of them blocked out, so looking good. Another one right there. So that'll come out the primer. Not even worry about it. Okay, so we got a little coat spread on there. Way too much, which is actually perfect. We'll let that dry good, and then we'll go over that with that board sander again, get that flattened out. I also put a little skim down here on those little dimples. 99% of that will be sanded off. We got a little, nope, nothing right there. It just looks like there is. It's just leveled out. So we're in pretty good shape now here. Everything feels good. I still got a little, maybe I better put a little something. Actually, I think, yep, I did a little hammer work right here and pop that back up a little bit. It's just ever so slight. I'm gonna just come along there with my hammer again, just a little bit, and I bet that'll pop this up a little more. Over that with a little polyester, that'll be fine. Just a little, I hammered most of it out. There was one little mark left, and so I didn't want to take that down to bare metal, so that'll work. So we'll let all this dry now, and we'll blog it out. So, I got another one here. Nope. Just gives the appearance. So one thing we're gonna have to do is pick up a gallon of polyester primer this week, because I don't have any, and I don't want to use my 2K on this yet, because I want to just coat this down with polyester primer so I can block it out, because that's basically a spray Bondo, and it'll look really, really nice. Once the Bondo gets to the point where it's a bit tacked, I like to take a cheese grater. It's for Bondo, and just take off the high spots. Don't want to get too carried away with this, but it just saves a little sanding. Just trying to level things out a little bit. If it's peeling at all off of the surface, you want to stop. Looks like it's sticking well. I'm obviously over the paint a bit, and that'll get sanded off of that, so that'll be fine. Okay, let's go after it and sand it down. Okay, I've gone over this pretty well now. Still a little bit more Bondo I need to do there. Other than that, the rest of this is good. It's got some minor imperfections, but a couple coats of polyester primer over this and block sand it, and it'll be as flat as a flat thing. So it'll be fine. Remember that I'm approaching this from a production standpoint. I'm not looking to make everything perfect. I'm just looking to get things to the point that the next layer is going to improve what I did, and then the next layer improves what I did until everything is just flat as a board. So, and I have to remember this isn't a show job, but by the same token, you know, I'm doing this in a way that I would do for production in a body shop to just get it done and get it out there. And it's kind of the way I do it. So the Bondo is nice and flat. Feathered edges, of course, will fill with primer. There's a couple of just little teeny minor imperfections. I said that there, I'm gonna have to put one more coat. I over sanded that. But everything else is good. I don't feel much in there. Little teeny dent there, that'll come out in the polyester. Polyester primer has been a lifesaver as far as I'm concerned with its filling capability. Yeah, a little bit right there, but I think the polyester will take that. If not, we'll use a little glaze on that. It's so minor. Again, not a show job, right? So we're gonna be in good shape here. I said I didn't have any, and I just dug back in the archives of all the paint crap I have, and I have a quart of gray feather fill. So I probably won't get that on there today. I'm just gonna rattle can this for now. We'll get the other door further along, and then we'll be ready to shoot all the primers on both doors at the same time. This is just an Evercoat product. You just use an advanced formula polyester primer surfacer, high build, no shrinkage. It's basically spray Bondo. All right, looking good. I just went over that with Etch Prime, tried to hit all the bare metal spots, and I've made the executive decision that until I hear from him, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the door handles and the lock out so that I can polyester this. I'll just mask the rest of it off. I'd like to ditch this thing as well. I think he'll be fine with that. It does need new rubber, so if he wants to ditch some of that, that's up to him. But that way we're just moving forward and getting it done, and we're not being held up by holdup. So yeah, Beck's here right now. I'm gonna go grab her real quick and see if we can get this set out in the sun so it can bake and get that all the solvents out of that lacquer primer that I just put on there. Then it'll be ready to shoot with the polyester when I get this one done over here, and that's next. There, it's out here where it can get all the sunshine, take out all the solvents, and just dry nice. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that door lock and handle off, and we'll just leave the glass in for now and go from there. But looking good. By the time we feather in all those little edges on the bottom, which you can't feel, they just show up through the primer. If I was to block sand that, even with the lacquer, it would disappear. But There's some scratches and stuff in there, but that feather fill will take care of it. But just went over this door again, a little bent right there, not much. It's got a little bit of a whooping right there, both directions, this way and this way, no big deal. Another one right there. This door is in much better shape than the other one. The bottom down here is pretty good. So we'll go ahead and just airboard this down and see what we've got and then what we're going to have to fill. I made the executive decision that until I know what he's doing for mirrors, I'm not going to bother doing anything here because two things. Put mirrors on there, it's just going to dent again. And if I put mud in there, it's going to crack. It's not really something I'm going to be able to bondo or hammer out anyway and make look respectable. If he's going to go with different mirrors, then we'll think about what we're going to do. But if he's going with the same style of mirror, you might as well just leave it alone because the mirror will hide that imperfection anyway. So again, we're not talking show truck, we're talking work truck, we're just talking production body shop type work here. So all right, looking good. So small low spot there, no big deal. I don't think I'm going to need to put any fill in that. That'll fill okay with the polyester. It is just minor. This was all done wrong here. There's just a little bit of a whoop right there, but this Bondo was just way too high. And then they went ahead and Bondoed all of this, but they didn't bother taking and pounding any of these down. You can see all of these smiles are high spots. And I just went through and dollied that a little bit. Hammered it, actually. I didn't dolly it. I didn't bother putting anything on the backside by experience. I just knew I needed to just gently move that metal down. I just tap, 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 as you saw in the time lapse, and came out good. So I don't need to put any Bondo in this door. The whole thing is quite nice. There's already some Bondo in it. We're not taking all that out. We're leaving it. The corner of the door feels good. By the time we get a couple layers of poly on there, block all that out, it's going to look really nice. And then we'll go ahead and put some 2K, I think it is, over the top of that. Some Nason primer. And then we're going to have to order the paint for this. We're going to go ahead and use the Summit Racing, they're just basic white paint. It's pretty inexpensive, $100 some a gallon. I don't know if we'll need a couple of gallons. Probably not. Hopefully just one. Depends if we're going to jam this out or not. I haven't talked to him about what he wants to do about all the door jams. But we'll see. It's going to look nice and turn out just to be a decent little work truck. All right, we touched up our bare metal spots mostly with the etching primer just to kind of get a little rust conditioner treatment on there. I got to do a round up there. That's all hand stuff. I'm not doing that right now. But it's looking good. So the next step on these doors, I think, is we'll be stripping those handles out and then going ahead and getting stuff masked off and giving that a shoot with the feather fill primer that I've got over there. In the meantime, I'll have to see about getting that shook because it needs to be shaken, not stirred. And we can stir it too, but shaking is better. I just don't have any way to do that easily. So we'll figure something out. Probably just flip it upside down for a while and then stir it up and then put it back together and shake it and stuff like that. I've definitely shared how to do, show quality body work here on the channel when I was doing the front fenders for that car right there during the pandemic. I went through in detail how I did that paintwork on that car. And of course, we're going to be doing more of that kind of work. But I thought it was fun to take this job on and show you how to do just a production daily driver work truck. Doesn't need to be fancy. Get the big dents out. and just shoot it with just some single stage paint and make yourself a nice little driver. It's going to be a really cool little truck when it's all done. I don't know when the rest of the truck is coming here, but I've got to like make arrangements for some cars because I've got way too much stuff in here right now, and I can't be painting in here with that in here, of course. So we've got to be able to scoot that out, but the one rear wheel is not on it right now, but Dad's getting that finished up and we'll have that back on the car soon. So making big progress. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Please subscribe if you haven't. Hit that bell so you receive those notifications. Lots of comments. Comments help. Comments show that you like what I'm doing here and helps it be put before other people. For every view that we get, YouTube says that they put me before 7 other people who potentially might like the channel. And the more comments and interaction we get, the more that just pushes it up in the algorithm. So that's awesome. Also, just spread the word. If you're in groups, Facebook or other social media platforms that you think people might like what I'm doing, share the links to the episodes or to the channel, or tell your friends or tell your enemies. I don't care. Just tell somebody. We're on the Face thing. We're on Instagram /mycarshop. And one more thing, don't forget, it's very important. Rock.